Belize 2019, my queen has me looking like the world's first disabled Hugh Hefner. And a local hustler asked me, "Hey, does your thing still work?" My brother bust out laughing. "Ha ha ha, are you asking a grown man does his dick still work?" And the local hustler says, "Yeah, I'm asking, you're in a wheelchair, does your dick still work?" Dog, I am disabled, but
Nigga fly as me, ain't a nigga cold as me, ain't another nigga got a swag quite like. But hold up, that's the way I feel. But hold up.
so I guess we'll get right into it. Let me explain why I am no longer with the That's the Way I Feel podcast. Yo, man, I really appreciate the king. I really appreciate the queen. The time we had together cannot be replaced. Like, I learned an immense amount of professionalism. I learned how to try to blend what I'm doing, where I'm going, who I am with others, because I'm well aware at this point of my journey, at this point of my healing, I am so aware that if I get distracted mentally, if I get distracted spiritually, then that's just curtains for me, man. Like, right away, negative thoughts come along. After negative thoughts come more symptoms. After more symptoms comes more fears. After more fears come negative thoughts. After negative thoughts come more symptoms, come more fears. I mean, all that just rocks and rolls and keeps going. So the whole reason that That's the Way I Feel podcast falls apart. And it didn't really fall apart. It's not falling apart. The producer is still there. The two of them are still going strong. The reason why I left, the reason why KendrickAvant left the podcast is because of creative differences. That's the big deal. I mean, like, when we started off, it was myself and the king. We added the queen. That made it two people over three podcasts don't do the wellness things that I do. Another way to put this, 2 out of 3 people are always on the same side. They're always taking the medication, so they have the same view of how to do things. They both have, neither one of them want to be an entertainment looking type of podcast. I'm all about the entertainment, man. Like, every day of our life, every day of my damn life, I'm dealing with multiple sclerosis. Like, every day of my life, I have chronic pain. I got all type of symptoms. I blog about life in this lane. I talk about life in this lane. I write about life in this lane. I've authored a book. I have a gratitude journal out. I do a lot to express everything that goes on with life in this lane. The lane of primary progressive multiple sclerosis. The lane of chronic illness, the lane of chronic pain, the lane of life without health care. That's the lane I ride in. That's the tribe I vibe with. So when I'm part of a podcast where 2 out of 3 have health care, take medications, and do all that awesome, good, great stuff for them, then that means I'm always the odd man out. Ain't nobody else trying to do a bunch of yoga to make their back feel better like me. They have things that they can take, doctors that they can go see. Whenever their legs are fully constricted, they have medicines that they can take, creams they can go for. They got a therapist to go see. They can go to all type of occupational stuff and physical stuff where they work for 3 hours at a time and all types of awesome, great things. But your boy, me, the multiple sclerosis outlaw, I don't have those options. I don't have any of those alternatives. Everything that I do is going the route of Eastern medicine. I'm on that yoga. I'm on that meditation. I'm on that water. I'm on that tea. I'm on that cannabis. I'm on that CBD. I shouldn't be on the alcohol, but damn it, I'm going to use the alcohol to get through a hard day. If I fall, I don't just reach for some anti-inflammatories or some type of pain pills. When I fall, and I fall quite a bit, that night I'm working extra hard and doing extra yoga because I know that the next morning when that pain really sets in, that's when it is best as a preventative measure that I have done extra yoga to get my body working, stretched out, get those muscles moving, get those muscles warmed up, because we all know that you're going to heal a little bit better if you're still moving, mobile, stretching, trying to get your body going. So the options that I have to deal with different types of things, they have these options, but they're not ready to go that route. Because of that, that is the very basic essence of our creative differences, man. That's the very basic essence of our creative differences. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking to neurologists, physiotherapists, physical therapists, primary care physicians. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about any of that because I cannot afford it. And if I can't afford it, there's no point in me, the multiple sclerosis outlaw, a man without health care, there's no point in me pondering and wondering and hoping and wishing and wanting and praying and posting on Facebook and all this other type of stuff. I'm not going that route. I shouldn't go that route. I'm not about to go that route. So I'm not going to have all those talks with all those type of doctors and everything. My thought to that is that whenever we have a bunch of doctors, and as we lean more into doctors, that we simply begin to split ourselves up a bit. I felt like, on all these episodes with doctors, y'all can rock and roll with the doctors. I will take a back seat. I just won't be on as many episodes of that. And we have other episodes about stuff like the wellness and about things like cannabis. That's when I will step out and shine. But they wanted us all to stay together and to roll in the same way as one unified team on the same route. And I just can't do it, man. I just can't do it because we just don't see eye to eye on so many things. Not only that, but once you talk about the medication, that also leaves a gap in the target audience for us. Because the target audience I'm going to does not use medication, does not pop any pills. The target audience I'm going to is doing their best to be as active as possible, to get things moving, to listen to music, they pay attention to the movies and TV shows that they watch, because we are all so earthly, so deathly aware. We're so present. We are so omnipresent. Is that even a word that I should use? But we know we've got to keep our minds focused on going in one direction. Because if you spend a bunch of time on everything else, that gets the depression, that gets the negative thoughts, that gets the dark thoughts, the dark emotions. You get to wondering why you said this to a spouse. You start wondering why you said that to a kid. You're wondering, am I really this tired? Or am I just feeling sad because people don't pay attention to me? None of that are the thoughts and the energy that I want to enter my mind or to exit my lips. I'm not going that route. And for that purpose, those are the creative differences that I'm talking about. From there, it breaks into smaller things. Because I'm more about the entertainment, the energy of it. I want to do things like Zoom outs, have open invites for people to come in and talk. I want to hear people's actual stories managing this jacked up, fucked up illness. It is invisible as hell, but I want people to manage it, to see how things are going. I want to talk to other people, see what they're doing. And if we're always spending time with the professionals and the doctors and the specialists, then we don't have time to talk to the regular, everyday people who are living this life, thriving beyond all the chronic bullshit associated with multiple sclerosis. You don't even have to have the primary progressive form of it. You can have the simple things like the good old relapsing remitting days. Maybe even the secondary progressive. But either way, man, I just want to hear people's stories. What kind of businesses they start. How do they get their families to come together? How do you explain to your kids if you smoke cannabis that you're smoking cannabis? Because man, it is 2021 and I feel like everywhere but in the great state of Texas, cannabis is on its way to being legal. Although I will congratulate my state, clap, 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 because it is legal for us now in Texas. If you have primary progressive multiple sclerosis, I believe even if it goes into the secondary parts. But the essence of the whole rule is that in the summer of 2020, Texas made it legal for if you have progressive multiple sclerosis to have access to the medical grade strains of cannabis that are grown here. There's not many. Now, that doesn't mean you can have the flower because we're in Texas. So, no, I cannot just rock around with the flower and just blaze up joints and just hold blunts and pipes and everything everywhere I go. It's not that open. But at least I can get the medical grade. And when here in Texas, you can't get the flower. You can get the oil, but it's not in the vape. It's just the oil. It's like a rub-on, and I believe it's a pill that you can get here. Either way, the process involves all type of stuff. I'm going to explain that with y'all. But this entire story is something that I can't do on other podcasts because some podcasts have to cater to an audience, or they're worried about how this may affect employment, or how they're worried about how this whole entire discussion on cannabis is just not something I can bring to anybody. As open as I am about my life and about my lifestyle, and as much as I believe in the power of cannabis for everybody else, especially for those of us that have multiple sclerosis, I get it, man. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. There's a lot of stereotypes. There's a lot of suspicions. A lot of old, basically just old lies about it, man. Like people just aren't educated on cannabis, and because of that, that's where we are right now. That was another element of me leaving That's the Way I Feel, because I want to have big, long, open discussions on cannabis. I want to talk to growers of cannabis. I want to talk to people who smoke cannabis and didn't smoke cannabis. Like, I just want to talk about cannabis. I want to talk about my poetry. I want to talk about all types of things, because what I'm bringing you is not just a show about multiple sclerosis. The name of this show is Disabled But. Like, disabled but what else? Disabled but still going. Disabled but still a champion. Disabled but still working. Disabled but still happily married. Disabled but still raising kids. Disabled but. That's the point of this. I don't want to just get stuck in multiple sclerosis. So I left that podcast for Creative Differences, and that's why y'all got me now, solo dolo, the multiple sclerosis outlaw, busting 6 shots of wellness at anything and everybody in my path. Holla at your boy.
Every time I get to him raw.
Okay, so I gotta tell y'all about how I met my queen. Because as you're rocking with the Disabled But podcast, you're gonna often hear about me, my queen, and of course the kids. We have a whole family blog where we're discussing how the family juggles and deals with this illness together. Because yes, I have multiple sclerosis. I have primary progressive multiple sclerosis. I got the brain lesions, I have the spinal lesions, I have ulcerative colitis, I have spondylosis, I have irritable bowel disease. Like, I have all types of nonsense that is going on. That being the case, I can't act like my squad is not here helping me through all pieces and parts of this. We don't always see eye to eye. We don't always agree on what the thing to do is, what the step to do is. But we absolutely agree that Daddy is still here. Daddy is still going. Daddy is still thriving. So, as you're rocking with the podcast, learning more about me, when we finally get to Ecuador and you're watching the videos and you're asking us questions like, yo, what the hell made y'all decide to go to Ecuador and take all those kids of yours to Ecuador? So, let me get into how I have met my queen and how all of this began to come together. The year is 1997. Yes, your boy is that old. The year is 1997. It is the very first day of college at Sam Houston State University in Nacogdoches, Texas. Now, I grew up in Nacogdoches, Texas. Not a big fan of how I grew up and what I grew up going through there. But yo, man, that is the hometown. It's not the hometown. That is the hometown. Like, that's where my parents still are. That's the home. So, that's it. So, it's 1997. I am there. I'm officially a sophomore in college. Now, this is my third college. Because when I graduated in 1996, I graduated on a Friday. I am late to school in Arkansas for classes on Monday at 8 o'clock. Man, I graduated on Friday. I'm late to class Monday morning in Arkansas. Graduated in Texas, going to summer school in Arkansas because my college scholarship, I got a full ride. I'm going to Fisk University. I'm big in education. I'm smart. I know I'm smart. And the whole time I'm growing up and coming through things, I know I'm going to a black college. So I take off, man. I'm late. I arrive at my first college. I get into trouble that very first semester. I meet up with some people. I'm in this summer school program, dude. And in the summer school program that I'm in, right there in Central Arkansas, it is for boys and girls who have made some questionable decisions, have some questionable motives, and need some extra mentorship, especially the freshmen. I'm a freshman. I get there. I'm there for that summertime year. Meet a girl, fall in love, tell Fisk, yo, I'm not coming here. Plus, I get into some trouble at Fisk. Very first day I show up at Fisk, some things happen. I'm like, yo, I'm out. On the way back, I just stopped in Central Arkansas, enroll right again, boom, take off, and I never go back to Fisk. So I spent my whole freshman in Central Arkansas. When I finally get to SFA in 1997, I am officially a sophomore. And I'm sitting outside. They have a little area. It's like a huge, I think it was called Steen Hall. And it was the only girl, it was a big twin dorm, all girls unit. Both sides, two big twin buildings, girls units. So growing up in Nacogdoches, we always knew that's where the college girls were. So here I am, I'm a sophomore now. I got in trouble at Central Arkansas. I am now at SFA. I'm living at home, and I'm sitting outside. It's the very first day of school. Classes are tomorrow. I'm not really paying attention, man. I'm sitting out there trying to shoot game, be a player, do what just a young G think he's supposed to do. Get numbers, knock down numbers, hang with the boys, chilling and macking and chilling. Like, that's it. So we're there doing our thing, and I'm there with my partner Big. I ain't gonna say his first name. And I got another partner with me named Bobby. Rest in power to the king. Bobby, we lost you quite a few years ago. Man, I hate we lost you. But it's Bobby, my homeboy Big. Can't say his last name. I don't want to get him in trouble. And we're out there chilling, man. And the favorite drink we used to drink was it was E&J. We took E&J and we would put Jolly Ranchers, drop those into the E&J bottles. Shake it up hard. I mean, we would put like 4, 5, 6 Jolly Ranchers in there, shake it up hard, and then take turns passing that nonsense back and forth and drinking it straight from the bottle. E&J, Jolly Ranchers, straight from the bottle. Got a 50-pack of Black & Mild cigars in the car. Yo, I'm all the way chilling and macking and chilling. So we're sitting outside, and my head is done as a work of art. My hair is half side afroed out. The other side is all twigged up with like the little micro puffs, like afro balls. Half my hair is afro balls. The other half is straight up afro. Maybe it's some dreads. Either way, it wasn't on point, dude. I'm out there with the blacks. I got my drink. I got my hair looking a mess. The homeboy Bobby is struggling with some dudes. He had told me earlier, me being the dude that I am, I show up to help out. And when I see them, let me stop lying. I don't show up to help out. I'm on the yard chilling and macking, trying to get numbers. I run into Bobby. He tells me what's going on. I tell Bobby, don't worry about it, player. Your boy got your back. I go to the trunk, pop it open, check out a baseball bat. I keep a baseball bat with me back in the 90s because I don't want to get in trouble with police, because I've just gotten in trouble with police in Arkansas, so I know I can't have a gun on me anyway. So I got the baseball bat. So here we are sitting outside. I'm your boy, hair looking a mess, twigged out, had twigged out half, the other half is froed. I got the homeboy Bobby with me, got the homeboy Big with me. We're drinking, got a 50 pack of black sitting between the three of us, doing our thing, man. We watching people come and go, having a good time. We're trying to meet people. We meet some cool people. Some of the people I'm still in cool with. But at some point that night, there is a queen that comes. There is a young lady comes downstairs. She's wearing regular clothes and she has on rainbow colored sandals. And I remember thinking when I saw her come out of that Steen hall, damn, somebody got some pretty ass feet. She's across the street and I'm thinking she got pretty feet. Her name ends up being, she would later on become my queen. So her name ends up being Marcherie. I'm out there talking to some other people and I can't stop looking at how pretty her toes are. I'm 18 years old. So I'm on my second college. Told you all I was a sophomore. I'm 18. I don't realize at that point at 18 that I would grow to have a foot fetish. But fuck it. I got multiple sclerosis. No point lying to you. Your boy got a foot fetish. I love pretty toes and stuff like that. She has pretty toes. On top of that, she has on these rainbow colored sandals that bring the attention to her toes. And she has an attitude like, why the hell you looking at my toes? Dog, I don't know why. Yeah, I do. I knew why they were cute. I didn't know why I thought they were cute. I knew she was cute, but that's how we met. And from there, we ended up getting married in 2005. It is now 2021, so we are 16 years in the game of marriage. And it has been a ride that I do not want to end. I have a lot of fun with her, and I've always told my queen, it was as much of a foot fetish that I have for her, and I'm serious about that, man, I really do, but as much of a fetish as I have for her physical. The reason why I asked her to marry me is she is the first woman I was ever with that I could bring around my family, and I could kick it around the homeboys, and I could still be with her, just her. So that's it. We're still together 16 years later, on our way to Ecuador to show everybody else who has somebody chronically ill, disabled in the family, don't have health care, that you can say damn that and go balls to the wall. So what I have really learned from Clubhouse, and what I have really learned that is, tremendously helping out my business, is I have learned to really be authentic. You always hear about, you read about, you see all the memes about being authentic, finding your tribe, speaking your language, knowing your heart, all of that kind of stuff. Yet when it comes to actually putting that into business practice, man, that can be an entirely new category and concept that you just don't know how to handle. And I've been dealing with that for quite some time. I started out trying to be a real estate agent. When I left teaching, I went into insurance. I had my own tutoring business. I went back into insurance. I did apartments type stuff. After that, I started up an independent company where I would just take real estate needs, insurance needs, health insurance needs, babysitting, did all of that. I had a business where I was doing t-shirts and clothing. That failed in a couple of months. I've been up and down through things, trying to start stuff up, get stuff going. Last year, I dropped not one, not two, but 3 different ebooks. Last year I dropped 3 ebooks, and out of all the ebooks that I dropped, all 3, I think I sold a total of 9. Not 9 the first week, not 9 during the first month. I sold a total of 9 among those 3 different ebooks. And now that I'm looking back on it, I gotta lie. I mean, not I gotta lie. I gotta be honest. I think what I have learned is just to be authentic. I was always trying to hide my cannabis usage. I always tried to hide the fact that I wasn't doing the healthcare because I was terrified that people were gonna. I thought that if people really vibe with me, if people really rock the message that I'm talking about, that they're gonna believe the message means to quit healthcare, and if they're just grateful that they'll be living and looking and acting just like me. And I didn't want the responsibility because I know this life is not for everybody. This life without healthcare, this life without prescription medications and pain pills and everything else, this shit is not for everybody. And it took me forever to understand that. It took me forever to even get to this point where I can say myself that I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable having a higher quality of life and a shorter quantity of life. I'm cool with that. I think Drake calls it the YOLO, the you only live once. That's a whole different thing when you got a chronic illness and no health care. Because at that point, the decisions you are making absolutely affect the longevity of your life. And so what I have learned this week, just since the last episode, first episode, I was starting to figure it out. But then these last 2 weeks, the authenticism that I'm putting out there is all the way real, man. Like, I know I'm not telling people to quit healthcare. I know I'm not telling anybody that. I'm simply exemplifying that you can thrive without it. I'm not motivating people to quit healthcare. I am exemplifying. I am inspiring you to thrive if you don't have it. I'm inspiring you to change your perspective if you don't have it. And the way that I've been authentic is, number one, I'm offering my first book, If You Can't Get Better, Be Better. It's on Amazon right now. It is the survival guide to multiple sclerosis. If you message me, if you DM me on Facebook, if you DM me on Twitter, send me a message on Instagram, email me, comment on the YouTube video, because I'm trying to be everywhere at once. And if you comment on anything that you want a copy of that free book, yo man, I'm sending you that book for free. I will email it right to you. I will email you an EPUB. I will email you the PDF. I will email you either one, whichever way you want it. I will slide that to you. It has the 9 steps I've taken to get myself better. Last year, I wasn't giving the book out for free because I really thought that this had to be my career, the way of life, the way I make money for the kids. And I was thinking to myself, yo, I can't give away this book. I need money to feed my kids. No way I give away this book. I didn't work so hard to write this book. Now I understand things. I understand that the authenticism. It's hard for me to talk about helping people if I cannot give you the instructions on how to be helped. And the instructions on how to be helped are right there in the book. The 9 steps. If you cannot get better, be better. I'm giving that out to people for free now. When I'm on Instagram, when I'm on Facebook, I'm going live so people can see. This is not some recorded video of the energy and excitement that I'm talking about, man. I can't fake this smile to pull this stuff up. My feet hurt way too bad to pretend like I'm over here smiling and acting like I'm happy about shit that I'm going through. I really am happy about the shit that I'm going through because I'm going through it. I'm thriving. I'm still going. Then I'm thriving. And I go through it some more. And I thrive a little bit more. And that is the same energy that I'm bringing to you. And I'm telling you, anybody can improve and get themselves better. And the way that you do it is start with your authenticity. You can get your authenticity through that gratitude journal. but it's time to just be you. You know you can't fill from any cup if yours is not full. You've seen the memes about it everywhere. It's time to just be you. Let them see your smile. Let them see the skin. Let them see your ashy knees. Let them see you. Authenticism. I'm bringing it. I'm loving it. I'm exemplifying it. That's what I have learned this week. That's what I'm going to give to you. Take that authenticism back to your business.
Bustles in my music, man, them blunts get played. See, I'm the king of my throne. East Texas till I'm gone.
I gotta always give y'all some wellness tips because I can't be the multiple sclerosis outlaw and talk about how I don't do the healthcare and brag about how I'm trying to make it without the prescription medications and not give you some consistent tips, things that I'm doing, strategies that I'm using to get over the chronic pain and to manage all the symptoms. I've told you all about using, you can actually go to your local herb stores and you can get lavender, chamomile, those two herbs, grind those up. You can put those into your indicas and I mean, you will get the sleep you so richly deserve. Lavender and chamomile. I've talked about that before. Another herb you've got to get invested in, you've got to start learning more about, is that if you deal with the chronic stomach issues, I have irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. I also have irritable bowel disease. That is a stronger version of IBS. I also have ulcerative colitis, which is a stronger version of both of those. Because of that, I am really big into taking mint. You can take really mint, people, grind that up and put that into your indicas as well. Now, the reason I'm using indicas instead of sativas when I'm with my herbs is because most of the time when I got the herbs, I'm going through something that's hurting a lot. And for me, the best thing about hurting is going to sleep. Like there's no better thing than to fall asleep in pain and wake up feeling better. I don't want to be awake the whole time waiting to feel better. I want to just go to sleep, which is why I'm so big on using that lavender and chamomile. I put those in with my indica. And if my upset stomach is bothering me, I mean, when you have those stomach cramps, the bubble guts, the gas in the stomach, any type of stomach issues, the bad digestion, all of that, I'm going with mint. I take that, I'm going to grind it up, I'm going to put that into my indica. So I'm using lavender and chamomile in my indica for sleep. I'm using mint in my indicas to help out with the stomach issues, stuff such as bladder issues, bowel issues, gas issues, upset tummy, all that kind of stuff. Have I ever done lavender, chamomile, and just mint? Absolutely. Do I do it when I have cannabis and I just want those? Absolutely. Have I ever taken these herbs and put them in with a sativa instead because I'm trying to keep it hype and keep it going? You goddamn right I do. There's no other way to smoke but knowing why you're smoking. That way you can get the why you're smoking out. So there's times whenever we got family and friends over here, or I just want to be up. And if I got my indicas, that's going to put me to sleep. But if I got my sativas, that's what's going to get me hyped. So if I'm going to have a sativa and I need a herb to keep it going, to keep me hyped, to keep me refreshed, don't tell nobody, but you can tell everybody. Don't tell nobody, but you are allowed to tell everybody. Go for the Damiana. The Damiana I'm using when it's just the queen and I doing some QT time, just hanging out with ourselves. The Damiana is also something I'm using whenever I'm somewhere in public and I don't want that smell of the cannabis to overpower anything because some places are not okay with you having cannabis, no matter how sick you are. So I'm going to use the cannabis with the Damiana, and that Damiana is strong enough to help throw off the smell of it. I also like to mix up the mint in with the Damiana Because if it's daytime and I'm going with the Damiana because I want to stay up a little bit or because I want to keep some fresh, innovative things going with the wife, the Damiana, I'm going to add the mint with that just because the mint helps out the bubble guts and because the mint absolutely smells good. It's still mint. Like at the end of all the herbs and all the healing and all the great traits, one of the greatest traits about mint is that it's mint, man, and it smells good. So when you put that in your jade, when you put that in your sativa, when you put that in your jades, when you put that in your sativa, when you put that in your indica, I'm telling you, the effect is going to be a refreshing, lighter type of taste and feel in your smoke. And you can use that to stay up, feel better, help out.